My wife and I are very proud of the journey that we're on and where we're at on this journey. It has not always been easy. It has not always been fun. It has required a significant amount of sacrifice. But I'm here today to share a little bit more of our journey with you because I just feel like it would be responsible of me to share a little bit more about my wife and I and our journey, because I'm out here making financial videos. And although most of my videos are pretty generic and educational in nature, I think because I'm doing these things daily now, you're gonna start to get a little bit more of a flavor of my daily thought process. And if you're gonna do that and follow this journey with me, I think it will be relevant for you to understand how long it's taken for my wife and I to get to where we are today. So that's gonna be a little bit of the nature behind this conversation. So where are we at? Well, if we're using net worth and income as scorecards, then for a few years now, we're doing better than about 95% of you guys. And so I share that context because I'm proud, but I also have not been here my whole life. We earned this for many reasons that I'm gonna go through now. We have not always been in that situation, but we're excited to be here now, I'll tell you that. So where did this all begin? Well, I'm gonna go a little bit deep. I'm gonna go a little bit deep briefly, but then we'll go from there. My parents got divorced twice when I was little. That scarred me a little bit, but I'll tell you why. It really made me think deeply before I got married, because as an adolescent kid, 12, 13, saw his parents get divorced, 15, 16, saw him get divorced again, same too. Love my mom and dad. They're watching all my videos. I love you, mom and dad. But you know, that was hard. And so that really influenced me when I got married. Wanted to take my time. I just sat on the engagement ring for months, just marinating on the thought. My wife and I joke about it all the time. It's hilarious. But you know, it's interesting how your youth inspires you as an adult, right? So I rode my older brother's coattails to college. I barely got in. I got accepted to Florida State University, but I got accepted for the summer, not the fall. I got accepted for the summer, and I had to get A's, which I did. So I rode his coattails to college, and then my guidance counselor told me I needed to use, which it wasn't normal, but I needed to use my Merrill Lynch A. I got an A for my Merrill Lynch summer internship one year, and I had to use that A to graduate from the College of Business at Florida State. I laugh now because who cares? My life wasn't built by, you know, becoming an industry titan because I'm a super smart civil engineer. My work was earned through hard work and through work ethic. It wasn't through my brains and smarts. It was through my work ethic. And so that then allowed me to graduate. I was very involved on campus at Florida State in many capacities. I was not just a lazy college bum, right? So that's kind of how I navigated my college career. I went with intention, by the way. I was a finance, real estate double major. And I was a psychology minor, but just too many credit hours my senior spring semester. I just couldn't do it. It was too much. So I had to drop my psych minor. But graduated and started working for a home builder. I spent 7 years working for a home builder. In that career, that was when I started my DCA. That's when I started my monthly DCA, was when I was 22. So I'm 40 now, I'm an elder millennial, right? Been DCAing for 18 plus years. So, you know, when I shared, you know, those numbers with you earlier, it just hasn't happened overnight. It's been a long process of just doing the same thing over and over again. And you should be aware of that. It's not happening overnight. So during this career, my income ranged from $40,000 all the way up to $163,000, which was great. Again, hard work, a little bit of luck, but hard work in sales. I was in real estate sales for a new home builder. So customers would come to me. I would try to tell them why they should move to my neighborhood versus buying an existing home or going somewhere else, right? That was pretty much the gig. I left that. During that career, my wife and I, we paid off all of our debt but our mortgage. And then that was when I made my career shift. So let's talk about that real quick. How did we get to where we are now? Well, listen, this is a little personal, but we didn't have children until after we were married, right? I know that everyone has a different story. Everyone has a different journey. Your path is a different path than my path, but we're talking about money. We're talking about financial vlog videos. We're talking about where we're at in our life today and how and why we got here. One of the reasons why we're here is because we were smart with our family planning. I don't know how else to say it. We did not have children until after we were married. We are faith-based people. We are Catholics, and we attend church regularly. So, we've got that going for us as well. We have a wonderful home, wonderful household. Our 2 children love to spend time with us. My wife loves to spend time with me. We're a great, honestly, I mean, it sounds cheesy, I'm sorry, but we're a great little happy family. We have great neighbors around us. We're in a great spot financially. We're in a great spot of life. So that's kind of the flavor of this video is, how do we get there? Sorry I'm jumping around a little bit here. Sorry about that. So part of the real estate career that I had, but part of that journey was doing the Dave Ramsey baby steps. Part of that journey of, I just made a video about career advice, right? So part of the career advice that I was giving was mapping out your plan. Well, part of my plan to map myself out of real estate was paying off all of our debt and building up a really nice emergency fund. So that's what we did. We were on baby step 4, 5, and 6, right? We were completely debt free but the mortgage, and we were rocking and rolling. We had a real nice fat stack of cash when I changed careers to become a financial advisor, which I did for the better part of 8 years. And, if you want to tack on the last 2 or 3 years where I've been kind of coaching some people kind of casually, sure, you can maybe say that too, but I don't count that. I would just say I was a financial advisor for 8 years, and then these videos are like my fun side hobby after that career. So, at the end of the day, I positioned myself to get into the financial advisor career path, which worked out really, really well. During that career, my income ranged from $85,000 to $183,000. So like I said in that other video, every time I made a career move, my gross income is bumped up a little bit, which is nice. So, but the other thing that happened, and I want to talk to a lot of married men out there real quick, you need to take your egos and sometimes put it to the side. And what I mean by that is I was the breadwinner for part of our marriage, but during that time, it was our money. My father-in-law told my wife and I when we got married that this is she and I against the world. We were a team, and it was us against everybody else. And that's how we've treated our life. That's how we've treated our marriage. And we are a united front, right? In our personal life, people know us, I think, pretty well for, I would say, if someone were to describe my wife and I, they would probably describe us and say, oh yeah, they're the ones that are never gonna get a divorce. And that will be accurate because we love each other and we invest in our relationship. So when I said earlier that we're in a great spot, it's not just money, you guys, it's quality of life. It's investing in family. It's investing in the right areas of your life. So during this transition from the real estate career to the financial advisor career, that was very eye-opening because when I became a financial advisor, I felt like I earned the right to tell someone else what to do with their money. Because how arrogant is that? For someone to walk into your kitchen, walk into your office, sit in front of you at your desk and tell you what to do with your money, and they are still popping pimples because they just graduated college, and they did some internship and now they're a financial advisor. Like, I mean, come on, have some real life experience. So I felt like I earned real life experience. I felt like I learned parenthood. I learned sacrifice before I became a financial advisor to tell people what they should do with their money. But that was eye-opening because there are a lot of financial advisors that were broke. And so that was very interesting to me because why is that relevant to you? Why is that relevant to this channel? Because a broke financial advisor will recommend financial planning decisions for you differently if they need the money. Just that's all I'm gonna say about that. Just think about the agenda behind someone there. Sorry to throw some shade on financial advisors. A lot of them are great, but a lot of you out there do not need a financial advisor. And that was partly why I left, right? So during my path of leaving that financial advisor career path, I did it for 8 years. I loved it. It was great. I love helping people. I just got tired of sales. It was 15 years of sales in real estate, sales trying to sell you guys assets under management, financial planning, insurance products. My goodness, it was nonstop sales. And I just got tired of that. Now, a lot of you financial advisors watching this are like, oh, it's not sales for me. Sure, I'm sure it's not sales for you, and you've built your residuals up, your quarterlies up to where you're knocking it out of the park and you're doing great and your clients love you. Congratulations. It's still sales. And I just got tired of sales and I was ready to walk away. But in order for me to be able to do that, here's how we planned it, right? In that other video I just talked about, I'll throw it up on the screen right here. we planned out my exit. I planned out my exit. How did I plan out my exit? We did the Dave Ramsey baby steps. I'm not joking, you guys. When my wife see, I say we graduated because it's our money. So I mentioned this earlier, I'm gonna say it again real quick. I was the breadwinner for a while, and then recently, my wife's the breadwinner now. Didn't matter if it was my money or her money, it's our money, and we've planned our life out together. And so I've been the breadwinner for a very long time, until we executed and we graduated and invested in my wife's career. So I'll share what that is. So we basically said to ourselves, are we going to invest in your medical career, wife, or are we going to start a family? That was our decision that we started back in, I think, 2010, and we ended up having a family. That's just our path. That's just the way our life unfolded. That's just how it happens. So we had a couple daughters, and then after we had a couple daughters and I changed careers to become a financial advisor, we scratched our head and we said, hey, I think it's time for us to invest in your career. So that's what we did. My wife's been a bedside critical care nurse for a very long time. I think she was doing it for 8 or 9 years, and then she voluntarily retired from that career, became a student for about 3 years, and then she graduated from her nurse anesthetist program in 2018. You could Google it, and you can learn and figure out, sorry for the noise, you can Google it and figure out what that means. My wife and I are on the same page financially. Part of her and I being on the same page is me not sharing every intimate detail of our personal financial planning and how much money we're making. So, that's part of being on the same page with my wife, is just not sharing too much with you guys. But I'm going to tell you right now, she's the breadwinner, and I fully support it, and I cannot be happier. But my third career, I'm sorry, real quick. So, real quick, her income, let me just hammer this point real quick. Her income and my ability to check my ego at the door and to support my wife through this and to applaud her. I think if you are a husband and if your spouse is trying to better their career, I know it might be hard at times, but if there is a light at the end of the tunnel, don't just do it willy-nilly, okay? Hang on. I don't mean just go willy-nilly. Have a plan. And if that plan looks very, very likely that it's going to end and result with y'all making more money, then I would just say, as a husband, you should consider seriously supporting your wife through that endeavor, because I supported my wife through that endeavor, and I'm in a great spot right now. So that allowed us the flexibility for my wife to confidently say, hey babe, hey Kyle, I got this. You go do whatever you want to do and find your own way. So I left my financial advisor, left my financial planning career, and I started this channel. And shortly after that, I scratched my head and I said, you know what? I know about tax deductions. I know about write-offs. I know how to, do a few things here or there. So I'm probably going to write off some of this income until I start to really build it up. And I knew that we were going to want to buy a home at some point. So I kind of casually started to look for another career, another job, even though I really didn't need one. I really didn't want one. I wanted the regular W-2 income so that we could qualify for a mortgage. That was honestly it. But I wasn't in a hurry, and it was COVID, and we didn't need it. So I just continued with the channel. That's really it. I had no plan. My plan, when I started this channel, if you guys were watching my videos, my plan was just to continue to make videos for the rest of my life. I'm not kidding. I thought I was gonna be like Graham Stephan or Andre Jick or one of those guys. I don't know, maybe I would have, but that was my plan. And then I got a phone call from my brother-in-law, and he asked me and invited me if I wanted to join the family business, which is in construction. So now I drive a truck, and I've been learning construction, but why did I choose this job? Why did I choose to work for family? Why did I choose this construction career path? And I'll tell you why. And I wasn't really planning on going in this direction, but here you go. Here you go. We have been dollar cost averaging so well for so long, and we have so many stock market related accounts, and we've got an account for this reason, an account for that reason, and we've got money spread out in plenty of different places, and we are very well diversified from a tax perspective, after tax, before tax. We got a little bit of everything, okay? Real estate is our next venture. That is what I'm so thrilled about. So I accepted this position, which was a drastic pay cut. Drastic pay cut, but it didn't matter, right? It did not matter because we're happy. This is the least amount of money I've ever made in my entire life, and I cannot tell you how happy I am because my wife is making a lot of money, and we have done that intentionally. So I support her, she supports me, we're both dual income, we're both bringing money in, and we're in a great spot. So I intentionally wanted to learn construction because real estate is our next venture. That is the next path that I see us going down, and I am very excited to learn cost segregation analysis studies. What makes a good deal? What doesn't make a good deal? What would it cost to rehab a property? If I wanted to do the BRRRR strategy, how does that work? How many contacts can I create? How many contacts have I already created over the last 2 or 3 years in this construction industry already? How do I learn permitting? How do I learn what the rules and regulations are? I'm learning all that right now so that I could almost basically, essentially, I'm not a GC, but so that I could essentially be my own project estimator and be my own GC on a job, if you will, while we flip properties. So that's a little bit of the flavor and the intention of where we're going and where we're at. So sorry for the length. I wasn't planning on rambling for quite this long, but you know, if you watch any of my videos and you kind of are scratching your head and wondering, gosh, you know, where is this perspective that this guy is coming from? Now you know. So I appreciate your time on this video today. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. But again, my wife and I, we're not going to share every little detail, but we're doing pretty good. We're very grateful. We're very blessed. I appreciate you. See you tomorrow.